everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Hit the spacebar faster than I've ever done it before, and that's because I'm excited for an Eden run here. Let's do it. Dad's Key, Safety Cap, Guppy's Tail, 1 bag, NC2L with the Curse of the Lost. I seem to have started, well, this is a pretty good rate of fire, it feels like, to start an Eden run with, so I'm not going to complain about that too much, but I feel like I start with Dad's Key as Eden, I mean, not every time. That's disappointing. There goes our rate of fire. But maybe, once every, 15 Eden runs, I seem to start with Dad's Key, which is disproportionately more than I would expect. Admittedly, we have a little bit of a small sample size, but still, I feel like I get Dad's Key a lot. And I oftentimes completely fail at using it, which is my own fault more than anything else. However, yeah, we can afford to use our keys for golden chests, and I hate to do it. You guys know I love Dad's Key meta. However, I've got to go with Tammy's Head. When the run... Tell you what, let's start with the bomb here. Here, though, so we can maybe get the pot in it as well. And then we'll get this bomb. And then we'll open this. And that gives us Able, which I'm not particularly thrilled about. And then we'll blow up this one, like so. Thinking maybe we can get some extra bombs out of it. But mostly I'm happy for the Spirit Hearts. I love... Well, we might as well use Dad's Key here. I've been fighting angel statues whenever the case presents itself. But I can't justify holding on to Dad's Key for the whole run. You know, I've got a run to worry about here, man, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to have a good one here. And Tammy's Head is a pretty exciting item. There's another tinted rock back there. If we manage to get maybe enough money to get into that shop, or at least make getting into the shop worthwhile, then that's awesome. Petrified Poop should make that very conceivable. Okay. And to be honest with you, we've made some great strides in improving this run on this floor, pretty much due to sheer luck, but yeah, that's exciting. Actually, we play our cards right, we might be able to have 15 cents by the end of this floor. If we get the angel statues, I'll fight the angels. But for now, I'm very happy with the situation we find ourselves in. Best case scenario, this door is still open. We buy a Spirit Heart and a bomb. Interesting. I would love to buy Nun's Habit because I actually really like Nun's Habit. Maybe I left some poop behind. I really love Nun's Habit in addition to any item that only has a 1-room charge. That's really, really nice for us. Please don't be self-sacrifice. It's not. Come on. One of these is going to be self-sacrifice, probably. Is this really worth it? I mean, odds are I'm probably not going to want to sacrifice a Spirit Heart for a penny if we get the opportunity to here, but we will have the opportunity to. And that would oh, that was dumb. That would allow us to buy a Spirit Heart, as well as Nun's Habit, which might be worth it. Oh, man, that's a disappointment. I think long-term it should pay for itself, but it is a risk. I'm not going to deny that it's a risk. And trading a full Spirit Heart for a penny is rarely going to seem like a smart decision. In fact, why wouldn't we just not buy the Spirit Heart, save the money, and save our Spirit Heart as well? And then we would have had even more money left now. In fact, that might be the dumbest thing. It's a subtly dumb mistake, but it's a very dumb mistake. And I feel like I maybe have made the dumbest decision I've ever made in Rebirth right there. Luckily, we probably won't be punished for it. It's not like I lost a Spirit Heart there. I just basically threw 3 cents away, if you really crunch the numbers on it. Which is obviously not a smart decision, but mathematically, that might be the literally most stupid thing that I've ever done in Rebirth. I don't want to dwell on it. You know, morale's pretty high right now. We've been doing very well in recent episodes, and we've been pulling together a lot of wins from runs that you might expect would not normally be wins. Or at least not wins to the same kind of degree that we've been managing to pull off. So I'm pretty happy about that, and I'm pretty happy with our overall performance lately. Hopefully we'll get the result that we want today, and hopefully we'll play a little bit better as well. And we won't let that drag us down there. This could be great, actually. Definitely 1 bomb. No troll bomb. Good. No troll bomb. Our pill. Hematemesis. Relatively worthless. Devil card is good, though. And we can come back here and trade this bomb for a bomb and a Spirit Heart, which is a perfect trade for us. And we'll head down to the next floor with enough money to possibly spawn a blood bank, although that's probably not the kind of thing we're going to be too into. And it is going to be the cellar. Very much hopeful that we don't fight Fistula on this floor, but It does happen from time to time. Bomb bag early is relatively okay. Getting a lot of those kind of runs lately. A lot of bomb bag, a lot of sack of pennies. Not a huge fan. Well, that was well worth one bomb, even though I think a lot of people will probably be a little bit suspect over whether or not that was worth it in the first place. I tend to think 3 skulls is probably worth it. Now, do we have a chance at our secret room there? It appears not, but there's a little bit of extra cash for us. That could come in handy. I do want to go to the curse room, but we've got to make sure that we can... Well, let's shoot this. We got to make sure that we can go to our deal with the devil first, and we have the money necessary to actually get from that deal with the devil what we want to get, which is an item, which will cost us 3 spirit hearts unless something is like extremely lucky, you know, like a really, really good series of red chests or something like that. So stone chest plus potentially the secret room there. No, all right, that's okay. We still got a good return on our investment there. My best friend doing some my best friendy stuff and causing a little bit of misinformation amongst the enemies that doesn't always happen the right way. This time it worked out though, and we created a couple of spiders. Not thrilled about that. Bomb for a key seems like a pretty good... Ooh, careful. Seems like a pretty good trade for me in this situation, because we're gonna have more bombs than keys. But actually, this is maybe a higher priority, and we'll try something a little funky. I don't know if the secret room potentially lines up with this, but we're gonna throw this down like right here, in the hopes that maybe... Oh shit! I bunged it up pretty badly there. Let's try this again. It was potentially worth it. This is a weird one. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we take Dark Bum, and then we go back and pick up these red hearts to hopefully make more spirit hearts so we can take Guppy's head when we leave. Dark Bum, a better standalone pickup for survival. I don't think there's any question about that. But definitely the Guppy's head pickup offensively has huge potential for us as the game goes on. So hopefully we'll be able to pick up some more red hearts just randomly lying along the ground. Petrified Poop does give you a better chance to get payouts from poop. Occasionally those can be red hearts. We'll see. Could get lucky. Lucky on that Tammy's head pickup. Speaking of which, no red heart. That was a little scary. We picked up 2 keys there. I will be tempted to going into our shop here. See what we get. PhD for 7 cents. 1 penny here would make my decision a lot easier. I'll tell you what. We're gonna start with the PhD. See what our pill is. Tears up. Again, 1 more penny would mean an awful lot to me right now, but we don't quite have it yet. Just wanted to get that spirit heart just to give us a little bit better chance of survival, but we invested long-term instead of short-term on ourselves there that time. Dark Bum can still pick this stuff up, and even if we can't necessarily get to the hearts, Dark Bum can do so. And I appreciate that a great deal. Thank you very much, Dark Bum. Not at all concerned about death now. Fistula can be annoying, but we're probably not going to die. Oh, there's a tinted rock up there. I don't think I can push this guy far enough to really work with me on that one. Seems pretty stationary. 1 more hit should swing it. If I can just land it. Oh, 2 more hits. 3 more hits, my mistake. We probably could have actually made that one work. And we get a golden chest, which I will open, and I'm very glad that I did, because we got Cricket's head out of it. And the pin fight should be super easy. The only piss off is that we really can't take Guppy's head without killing ourselves. So, we're probably going to have to let that one go, but we still have to deal with the Devil Precedent. And Guppy, you know, we still have 1 Guppy item. It's not like the dream is dead. We did put kind of a little bit of a damper on it, no question about that. Oh, now we picked up regular HP. I forgot about that. We're not Blue Baby. So actually, we can totally take Guppy's head. And by that, I mean it'll kill us outright. That's the end of our streak? Is it supposed to work like that? Like, I'm not really... I'm a little mad that the streak's over, but at the same time, I'm kind of like... I'm more interested in how that run ended. I'm more like... Wait a minute. Is that supposed to be like that? Because I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I thought it was just supposed to take spirit hearts. But I guess it works the other way. Like, if you give up red hearts, but you still have spirit hearts, then that's not a problem. But if you give up too many spirit hearts, but you still have red hearts, then tough luck, I guess. I don't think that's how that... In my brain, that's not how that works, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I chose to just restart with an Isaac run, because morale is now at an all-time low. I was very excited by what could be potentially happening on that streak there, and instead, we're dead. Nice little dodge to get out of trouble there, and then I immediately hurt myself right after, so I'm feeling pretty stoked about how this is going right now. Great performances all around for me here. Now, if you're smarter than I am, you leave those spirit hearts on the ground and you pick them up later, but if you're as lazy as I am and you know thyself, then you're right. You might be on the right track by picking those up as soon as possible. Yeah, that's a nasty death. That's very disappointing. I guess that's just one of those things you can't rely on intuition. You kind of got to code it into your memory. If, like, it works that way for spirit hearts, but it doesn't work that way for red hearts. Or it works that way for red hearts, but it doesn't work that way for spirit hearts. In hindsight, I would much rather just be alive, and that run was actually looking like it probably would have been won. Oh, well. I'm genuinely, I'm not an angry person, and I'm not angry about that. Sometimes people take my outbursts as me being angry, but more that's just something that's for entertainment's effect. However, I think it's weird that there's like 3 categories of deals with the devil. Ones that you can take outright, no problem. Ones that it won't let you take because you've got no, you don't meet the requirements, no problem there, no skin off my scrote. And then ones that it'll let you take, but you shouldn't be able to take, and it'll kill you as a result of taking it. Those are the ones where I'm like, come on. Why even let me take it if it's just gonna do that? Well, you should know then. Well, then let me take any deal with the devil. And if I take any deal with the devil that I can't afford, then just make it kill me. I'm just asking for some standards here, you know? Anyway, that'll count as a loss, but considering we're Isaac and we have Bloody Lust already, I'm feeling like we got a real good chance to pull out a win in this one. Bloody Lust is big. Unless I completely throw on this floor or like the intervening rooms on the next floor, it's looking pretty likely like we'll get a decent deal with the devil, or a deal with the devil at the very least. And let's just pay very close attention to the mathematics at work there. Enough money to spawn a blood bank on the next floor, which is great because I actually could, theoretically, you could convince me to get rid of the D6 for an IV bag when we have Bloody Lust. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I will say that theoretically it's a possibility. If I get that, I might see that as an easy shortcut for damage. Kind of a fun little synergy to get. It does show up quite often, but so does the D6 if you count random runs, so that doesn't really affect it that much. Probably stop now. Nice little switch there. We got pretty lucky. And we'll keep doing the same thing here. Good practice fighting the Haunt in this episode at the very least. We, everybody's favorite first floor boss. We're getting a nice little workout. Good scrimmage here. Probably deserve to take damage there, but that's going to finish out the fight anyway. And the pentagram is really going to help us, not just for the damage, but the extra deal with the devil chance as well. Let's move it down to floor 2. Feeling pretty good on pace. Curse of the Blind scares the shit out of me, but we've got enough HP to pretty much take whatever we want and not be, on a deal with the devil, that is, take whatever we want and not be that worried about it. I am going to make the risky decision to sacrifice a lot of our superfluous, seemingly, HP to come in here, and it didn't work out. Sometimes that'll be fine, sometimes it won't, but I'm generally, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time I'm of the mindset that if you have a considerable advantage over the game, you should leverage that advantage in somewhat risky situations, at least temporarily, to try to get even bigger advantages. So, you know, that's why maybe I'll use my last key to open a golden chest, because, hey, if we get Cricket's head... Oh, that was dumb, but I didn't take red heart damage. If we get Cricket's head, amazing. We've got an even bigger lead over the game. And if we don't get Cricket's head and we end up having to skip an item room, well, we're still kicking the game's ass, right? Now is probably about the time where I'd probably put a cork in that. It's starting to seem like maybe we're not in a great position for that. Nick taught me like an exploit to fight gurglings. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really understand it. Something like if you hug the opposite wall when a gurgling is chasing you, it will never chase you along the wall that you have gone to. It makes no sense to me. My strategy on gurglings is much simpler. If they charge you, get the fuck out of the way, and that seems to work. If you can get out of the way when they charge you, your risk of being hit is quite low, I've found. So I'm gonna stick with that strategy for now. Magic Scab for a luck upgrade, I'm relatively happy with, and we'll take both of these. Sure, we'll take both of these. Step 1, the Mark. Very happy to have it. And the Pact, sure man, Mark Pact, that helps us out a lot here. And we still got 3 keys and an item room in a shop waiting for us, hopefully an arcade as well. Damage, considering Pentagram, Mark, and Pact, we should be relatively set there. But if we can pick up an IV bag and we have a reasonable amount of red hearts to use with it, then I'm not going to kick it out of bed for eating crackers. Although I will say, you know, maybe you could, like, can you just sit on the chair or something like that? It's a little weird, you know, go to the kitchen, get some wheat thins, and the post-coital blitz here. Blitz? Post-coital bliss. You can tell I don't use that phrase that often, don't have too many opportunities. Magic fingers. Not a particularly huge fan of this with a different spacebar item. Mr. Boom pretty much fits exactly the same criteria. I think this is kind of a bad item. But it did allow us to get 3 free cents on the shop. And knowing that we do not have a blood bank, we can come in here. I was thinking maybe buy a battery charge. The game has decided that that is not fair. Okay. Now we will do the only thing that's left and try to shoot as much fire as possible. Maybe get, if we can get to like 12 cents, maybe 11, then I would blow up the donation machine. It doesn't look like that's likely to happen either, though. Here's another Afterbirth trinket idea for you. Free of charge right off the top of the dome piece. You got petrified poop? Throw in some kind of like lucky fire trinket or something like that. You know, it could be camping log. You throw in camping log, and, you know, if you, have I gone to the curse room? Yes. Can't go to the boss trap room, unfortunately. If you, have the camping log, fires are more likely to pay out with pennies. Iterative content, man. Allows you to add another, number to the count of items in the game. And what's the formula for game copies sold is basically just like item count times, you know, 1 over price. Unless it's a Steam sale, in which case it's just 1 times item count times 1,000. Look, I'm not very good at math. That's not totally true. I'm adequate at math, I'd say. Mystery Sack is okay. People give Mystery Sack a bad rap. I think it still has a little bit of that latent, kind of like disrespect, because for a while it literally did nothing. But now that it does something, it's okay. However, is it good? No. Well, it's weird. It's one of those items, it kind of reminds me of Gimpy, right? Where at first I was like, Gimpy's not very good. But then you have like a Mega Satan run and you only win because Gimpy actually like procs at exactly the right time. And people go, fuck you, man, you hate Gimpy, but Gimpy saved your life. And it's like, well, you know, you make one right move at the right moment and all of a sudden everyone thinks you're Wayne fucking Gretzky, right? Like, I still think mathematically Gimpy is not particularly good, but now I take it because there's that 1 in a million chance, which I think is kind of unfair to the items that are a little quieter. Like, you know, let's say Bomb Bag, which we had earlier. Bomb Bag is never going to win you the run, but it might contribute more to your chances of winning a run than something like Gimpy. But because Gimpy can have that, like, all-star fucking breakaway payout, everyone thinks Gimpy is like the hottest shit of all time. I disagree. I don't think Gimpy is the hottest shit of all time, and I don't know. Mystery Sack, I'm of 2 minds about. I figured we'd blow all this up. It's not the most efficient use of bombs. We traded literally 4 bombs for a useless pill. Oh well. Shit happens sometimes. Sometimes you get magic mush out of that. Let's try this. I'm relatively happy with that. I'm not going to open that golden chest. We do have Guppy's Tail, which I guess is why we're getting so many of those. But I want to have the chance to go to a shop in case we need to buy another battery charge just prior to our boss fight. Just so we can reroll whatever we get in the Deal with the Devil, which, oh man, this is rough. Deal with the Devil not guaranteed, but relatively likely, especially because we, oh jeez. Especially because we have the pentagram. So the pentagram gives us like an extra 0.35 out over 1 chance of getting in, so like an extra 35% chance. Devil card. People have told me that the Devil card gives you the Book of Belial effect if you hold it or maybe use it on a boss fight. It gives you a guaranteed deal with the Devil. I don't necessarily buy it. I seem to have anecdotal memory of experiences that do not match that supposed rule. But the jury is out until I see some concrete quantitative evidence one way or the other, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. For now, though, this is it's a killer run, you know. It's always nice. I have a soft spot for those kind of runs where you actually get an advantage as you take damage, so that you don't always just feel like a piece of shit when you get hit. Like, it's not always a net. Well, it's not always a objective 100% loss. Like with Bloody Lust, every time we get hit, we get a little bit of temporary damage bonus out of it. It's not necessarily enough to write home about, but it's something, man. Feels good. And it looks like we'll definitely have a reroll ready for our boss fight. I will probably try to reroll Ghost Baby. And, ooh, careful. Yeah, I'll probably try to reroll Ghost Baby. And before we do this, we'll just check out our shop just as kind of like a fail-safe, and we'll make sure that there is a... You know what, I kind of prefer Wiggle Worm to Umbilical Cord, to be honest with you. There is a battery charge in there. We have enough bombs to probably get Mom's Key and the battery charge, so... I really want to get Mom's Key. That's going to be my #1 priority. Sad Bombs is a lovely item. Just fantastic. And I'm going to do the risky thing and actually blow up our donation machine in advance here. We've added like 130 cents to it maybe over the past 10 episodes. Oh, that was not what I meant to pick up. But we've added a lot to it. Let's just put it that way over recent episodes. So I'm happy to have it. And now if we get a little extra money, we'll just put that in our blood bank funds. And hopefully we'll be able to snag an IV bag on the next floor, because after a loss like the one where we just had, I am mostly in the market for raw damage. See, I do lose on camera. It's known to happen. And I'm not going to scrap like a shitty loss like the one I just caused myself just because it's funny. Like that's a funny loss as far as I'm concerned. This would be a great floor to have Dark Bum on. Speaking of the last loss, so I'm thinking that this guy jumps. We put a bomb down right where he's going to land, and that is going to hurt him like crazy. Sad bombs are really... I mean, I probably overrate them a little bit if I'm being honest. You know, the same way you might overrate, like, mashed potatoes, you know? You might say that your favorite food of all time. That doesn't mean they're the best food. Doesn't mean they're the best vitamin content or the best taste profile or something. Happy to have Jesus Juice here, and we've got a reroll saved just in case we don't like the 50% of the outcome that could potentially come to pass. Let's see. That is indeed the case, and we... are gonna get a second Guppy's Tail? No, wait, that was our Eden run. Our Eden run gave us Guppy's Tail. I'm very confused. I'm not confused anymore, but in general, as a rule, I'm confused, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll head down to the next floor. Very happy we got Mom's Key, helping us out a lot with this consumable game here, and Curse of Darkness is barely a curse at all as far as I'm concerned, especially now that the Vita version of the game has gamma settings, so you can actually see on a Curse of Darkness floor and don't just have to hold the power button and rage quit and curse the name of the people that localize the game. Thank you very much, Mom's Key. That gives us enough money to fight greed on this floor, which is definitely what we're going to do, but hopefully we will have a blood bank available for us as well here. Mom's Key means that we will almost guaranteed have a ton of red chests, or sorry, not red chests, but a ton of red hearts from chests that we'll be able to pull from here. See, the Northern Lion speech generator is very simple. It's just adjective plus noun with a Binding of Isaac related context, and then you just draw from that. Unfortunately, sometimes that leads to the wires getting crossed. So, this is going to cost me more than I would like, and I'm a little bit ashamed to admit it, but we're going to do this way for convenience's sake, and Black Candle is a huge pickup that actually almost makes us break even here on this floor, strangely enough. We'll keep moving on here. Still hoping for that blood bank payout, but Guppy's Head gives us our second Guppy item and a really good chance to actually become Guppy. Yeah, we'll always, every time we get the opportunity to open a golden chest with Mom's Key, we're going to take it. It's so rare that it pays out with something worth less than 1 key. Usually it pays out with literally a key or more than 1 keys. Plus more consumables, or you just get a good item out of it. So I'm always up for that. That is not going to be our secret room. I really don't want to spend 2 keys to open this, but I would like to go to it. So as you can see, you know, I'm of 2 minds here. And unfortunately, is not our secret room. Should have tried to catch an enemy in it, but with an enemy this mobile, it's a little difficult to tell. There we go. See, we got a key back and several bombs and quite a lot of money. This is why I think Mom's Key is objectively one of the best shop items in the game. Alright, I'm not super thrilled. I didn't mean to pick that up either. I'm not super thrilled with this, but look at it. You know, we broke even on keys, picked up something stupid like 15, 20 cents, and then we're going to have 3 full charges on our battery that we can use on probably only one of them on a boss, deal with the devil kind of combination. But, you know, if this shop ends up being shitty, we can do a lot of good stuff. I'll buy the compass, and I'll tell you what, I'll buy a red candle and then reroll it just so that we actually already bought it, and then we can just pick up whatever this is for free. So blank card, you know, there's a lot of blank card fans out there. No arcade on this floor, man. Means we can pick that up guilt-free, but let's just make our way. I know that there's probably a mathematically sounder way to do this, maybe by picking up the charges right away, but yeah, I'll take it. No surprise there, but I'm of the mind that I do better when I can actually see everything that's available on the floor, so I think I make better decisions that way, even if it's mathematically not necessarily the right choice. I think it's the right choice for me. Now we'll go back, we'll take one charge with us into the boss fight, and we have one charge remaining to reroll blank card, because as much as I like blank card, I don't think that it really meshes with the devil card that well. Like, our damage is already so good that I'd be better off, I think, just sticking with the D6, which has done wonders for us thus far. And we got a double boss fight coming up here. A little bit slow. I wouldn't expect the boss rush to be happening here. Double Polycephalus is barely a double boss fight at all, because these guys are relatively not tanky. This is a room we could just run across on the womb fairly commonly. One of them is nearly dead. It is that one right there. One guppy item here would mean an awful lot. Oh, we did get a deal with the devil. Somewhat surprisingly, although I've talked a lot about like how we've improved ourselves and our devil chances specifically. I think we're just going to roll with exactly what we got here. These are great items. Abaddon in particular, reroll experimental treatment. We're already going to have HP, so we might as well take it. And actually, this is great because this gives us access to the boss trap room up here now, which I'm very happy about. And there's a decent chance, at least, that we become guppy in there. Let's pick up our battery charge. And, oh, I should have looked for the secret room on the other side of this room. It's unlikely, though. I think it's next to our curse room, which is hilarious because I sacrificed, like, 8 spirit hearts to get in there. But, it should be next to the curse room. And maybe we can get a magic mushroom out of this as well. Didn't really expect it. Still could, though. Tears Up is lovely. We got 2 of those. Pheromones is okay. Luck Down is terrible. And I found pills. So we'll take pheromones into our boss trap room in the hopes that maybe it makes it a little easier on us here. Red chest. You know what? I don't really want to open that other chest. I know I said with Mom's Key we're going to open every chest that we get. That's the one exception. I don't want to fight 2 bosses to get 1 chest. Even though, like, my heart is telling me that with Mom's Key, it's probably still worth it. Let's come back here into our shop, and as much as it might pain people, we're going to reroll blank card, hopefully into something a little bit nicer for us. And BFF, it's not immediately that useful with Rotten Baby, but it, you know, it's a nice thing to have. Anytime you can make familiars do more damage, it feels good, and potentially, you know, makes bad deals with the devil, like Brother Bobby, Sister Maggie, stuff like that. Makes them into amazing deals with the devil. And amazing deals with the devil, like perhaps a, you know, little brimstone or something like that, makes it even better. We probably will open that one, because we're going to fight 3 waves of enemies instead of 2 bosses. Our damage is such that it probably is not that large of a difference, fundamentally speaking, but we'll do it anyway. Is it worth 1 key to open a stone chest when you have Mom's Key? 98.5% absolutely. That's a number I pulled out of my buttocks, but I still think it's the right call. And there you go. That's the worst Mom's Key payout. 6 cents for 1 key. It's still above market value. We made it even worse with that golden chest, but still, we picked up a decent amount of money, 11 cents for 2 keys, and some red hearts there in case we ever get a chance to use them, although that's looking increasingly unlikely. And there's our 2 keys back. The other thing is that, you know, it's nice to know that with Mom's Key, if you fall in a key deficit, you're probably still going to be totally fine in a couple of rooms. As long as your luck stat holds up, which it does, by virtue of the fact that you got Mom's Key in the first place, probably. Throw a bomb down here. Created a host, which I'm not a huge fan of. We will have pretty much a perfectly timed reroll ready for our item room here. But I got a good feeling that maybe we'll get a good spacebar item. I've already got 2 guppy items. Let's chance it. It'll be fucking weird. And I rerolled the reroll. Oh, okay. This is what we're sticking with. It's very, very strange. We do have Lord of the Flies now, or just the ability to fly. That's Lord of the Flies, I think. I gotta be careful with my keys because I don't think we have Mom's Key anymore. This run is very strange. I'm interested to see what our damage is, though. We got butt bombs. Not as good as sad bombs, but not terrible. Yeah, our damage is great, and I love tech synergies, man. Looks like we might even have the mulligan. I think we have the mulligan. And we're doing a ton of damage. We were already doing a ton of damage. We're probably doing less damage, but we're doing it in a much more excellent fashion. So I'll be looking to replace our D100 as soon as possible. What is this? This is like 0.5 and Tech 0.5, Tech 2, and Mom's Eye, I guess. Yeah, and definitely the mulligan. Unless we rerolled into Guppy, which I don't think is the case. Alright, this is a good test. Let's see how quickly the adversary goes down. The only thing that pisses me off a little bit about this run... Little Haunt's helping out a lot, too. The only thing that pisses me off a little bit about this run is the fact that I won't be able to really make Blue Baby's only friend do anything for us. Super Bandage can help, because we're always shooting. And we don't have BFF anymore, which really sucks for picking up Demon Baby, but I'll get Book of Sin. The D20 is already, or not D20, the D100 has already done its job here. We might as well explore the entirety of the floor. We're not really gaining anything by not doing it in this case, and I'm very happy with this run. I'm feeling good. At this point, you know, it was already a one-run guaranteed, but I will, I'll fully confirm it here. People get on my ass. They say, well, I can't wait for the next run when you call a one run when you're at the character select screen. To be fair, I do that all the time. If I like pick Azazel, I basically talk as if it's a one run. But statistically, you know, if you already win an average run and then you have an above average start, you're sitting at like an 85% or greater like one run stat. And I'm reading the numbers as they come to me, man. I'm not trying to be cocky. It's just you would predict a win. If your football team has gone 15-0 this season and they're playing a team that's gone 0-15, you're probably at the, you know, you're in Las Vegas and they're saying we're not going to give you great odds betting on betting on the New England Patriots against the Detroit Lions here. It's just the way it is, you know. The math doesn't lie necessarily. I had to add that caveat in there because I don't know anything about math. Thought I saw potentially a tinted rock there. Feels like a secret room. Would be 2 rooms away from here. If I were a secret room, that's where I'd show up. And I meant 2 rooms in the other direction, which we're not even going to check. See you later, bitches. We're still holding out hope for a Guppy. I know that the Guppy tech synergies are not necessarily superb. We're checking regardless. I don't mind wasting another bomb here to hopefully get, like, Cricket's head again. Trickle Charge, huh? I can't do Trickle Charge. Trickle Charge is objectively the better choice. However, Wiggle Worm plus Technologies gives you a cool-ass looking laser. And there's something to be said for having a cool-ass looking laser. Like, that's worth something. It might not be worth extra damage, but it's worth extra morale, and morale's important, man. It's a kind of mushroom or something. Alright. Triple shot. Real weird, but in a good way that I'm quite fond of. Let's hope this Demon Judgment maybe pays out with, like, Contract from Below. I'm going to keep opening these even without Mom's Key. You know, a habit's hard to break. And we will check out our shop because we have the money. Worst case scenario, we fight Greed, which is actually shitty. Or Super Greed, for that matter. Best case scenario, we get an item and I can donate some money. Humbling Bundle is great. We no longer speak of the stopwatch, and then I'll hopefully donate some of the... Alright, never mind. I was going to say I'll hopefully donate, you know, the deficit that I created, or donate to offset the deficit that I created, but oh well. I don't mind a speedball here. And the run just keeps improving, which is normally how it's supposed to go. It's not always how it goes. A little bit surprised at how well they were able to stay afloat there. I guess we'll take that. This will be the floor. Now that we have 0 HP, basically, this will be the floor where we get an arcade. You don't even have to act like it would be amazing if it happened. Oh, Northern Line, how did you predict it? It's gonna happen. It's the Schadenfreude law of the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is not to say the game shits on me, but it does take every opportunity to make me look like a fool, I think. As we saw several times over the course of this episode. 2 of clubs. Yeah, basically traded 3 bombs for 19 bombs on this floor. Or on that room specifically. That's above market value, I'd say. If a room dropped 16 bombs, everyone would be saying, whoa, shit, what did you do? That's amazing. But I have a feeling there will be a little bit of a muted response to that room. This has got to be the right way to the boss. Like, the floor is not big enough to not sustain this being where the boss is. I would be surprised. At least give me a crawl space or something there. Well, it gave me Wheel of Fortune, which will then blow up with one of our many, many bombs. And Humbling Bundle hooking us up with some stuff there that is not worthwhile, really. Bad trip, thankfully. I half joking there. And finally, we get our IV bag. I told you, it was bound to happen. But we also picked up a Tears upgrade in exchange for the HP that we gave there. Not that big of a deal. Let's do this, Mom. I am ill-concerned. And Mom's Eye, this might be the only time where you'll ever hear me say Mom's Eye is helping out quite a lot here. But it actually is. Whenever we have like 2 bodily segments at the same time opening up, it's quite helpful, man. This fight is basically, the more Mom tries to attack us, the more vulnerable it makes her, and that's good for us. We'll be heading up to the next floor, down to the next floor as the case might be, and again, apart from the loss in the early section of this run, this is looking like a really nice one, a really easy win. Actually should shoot all of the poops because we get the free flies out of it, man. Don't do that. Yeah, that was dumb with me. Didn't get hit, but that doesn't change the fact that it was stupid. Lots of batteries here, too. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. That's still pretty nice. That will allow us to pretty easily see where our run is going here. I'll tell you what, because I like you, and you stuck around. This is episode 3,000 or something. 3,000 episode special. I'm going to go to this dice room just because I like your face, and you showered before you came here this morning, and that's not something we get to experience all the time. You got a good head in your shoulders, kid. Let's do this. We're going to check out this dice room. Hell, we'll check out the mini-boss. Play your cards right. You can test drive it as well. I'll even take a selfie with you while you do it. Stay out of the way of that one. As big rooms go, I'm not a huge fan of this one, but at least it's not a super envy fight. But you can say that for anything in your life. You can be like, shit, dude, I'm getting a colonoscopy, but at least it's not at that fucking super envy room from the Cathedral, right? We appreciate your levity, Mr. Laterno, but this is very serious. Okay, I'm sorry, Doc. Let's continue here. Doc, I've got an enemy from the Binding of Isaac Rebirth I'd like you to meet. I think you can diagnose a lot of problems with him. 2 keys. For a 1 room, which will reroll everything. Let's do it! It's Epic Fetus, and we are the slowest individual in history. I had a feeling we'd be able to break stuff here. I apologize. We must have Holy Mantle, too. I apologize, as I have now made this the slowest run of all time. I don't apologize to you, rather I apologize to myself. Please be a speed up. I can see forever. I mean, that's still pretty good. In a weird way, by giving ourselves Epic Fetus, potentially turn this run into a loss. I'm not trying to be over dramatic. Howeverly, okay. Back to school, Billy Madison. However, we're so slow that I think I may, oh, very funny. I think I may have actually, I don't think we're gonna lose, but I've created losable conditions. I'm displeased with this revelation, and there's your case in point for not re-rolling. It's pretty good. And actually, I'm happier to be fighting bosses now. Remember, we had that situation earlier where I was like, oh, we have fire bombs too, or hot bombs, which is actually awesome for us. But situation earlier, I was like, I don't want to fight bosses because they're going to be a little cumbersome. This is actually the exact opposite of that situation. I would much rather fight bosses because we are pretty much going to one-shot them and I don't have to move, which makes my life a lot easier. I'm like a heavyweight boxer right now. Our life is better if we don't have to move to accomplish anything at all. And what would really help out here, I can barely get away from these fucking tractor beams. What would really help out here, it was the greatest chain reaction of all time. But in all sincerity, what would really help out here is a guppy pickup. For real, man. Oh, we must have Loki's horns as well. Like, Mama Gertie might die in one hit. I don't know. It's close. Effectively one hit, because it can't do anything to us anyway, but, oh, we're not even going to get any deal with the devil here. My mistake, I suppose. Well, prepare yourselves for a slow run here. This is not glass cannon. This is like a pretty heavily armored cannon. I don't know, maybe we get a 6-room here, though. We did not get a 6-room here. Might as well take the fish head to be straight up with you. I mean, we don't get any benefit out of Wiggle Worm anymore. And by benefit, I mean, like, insanity. Well, you win some, you lose some, you break even on some, and then on some you lose, and then you win, and then you re-roll, and you're still winning, but you re-roll again, and then you lose. And on some, you know, you're got a good streak, and then you lose it, and then you come back from that and maybe pull out a win. It happens in a multitude of different ways in this beautiful game we call The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Sometimes I call it The Rebirth, but I'm 100, so, you know, just case in point. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not picking up any consumables because, you know, we all have a very limited amount of time on this mortal coil, and I don't want to waste any of it by taking 236,000 years, longer than the reign of the earliest kings of Earth, the dinosaurs, to pick up a single bomb when we have unlimited bombs that we shoot out of our face. And if anybody gives me shit about that, you gotta measure your priorities in life, dog. We got bigger fish to fry than making sure there's no bombs left on the map here when we shoot unlimited numbers of them from our brain stems. You gotta, look at this guy, he's only got one brain stem. What a joker. Alright. You're still alive back there, huh? I didn't realize there were like 3 parties going on down here. Throw me a bone, give me like a map or a compass of some sort or something of the ilk. Anything along these lines would be very thankful to have it. Alright, at least we can throw like one bomb, kill multiple enemies. Probably not that time though, huh? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Last one remaining. This is the right way. I've got a great feeling about it. Don't go under, baby. You're not Amy Lee. We're getting pennies like every single room here. There's some irony in the fact that we were like almost too fast earlier. Yeah, it took small rock. You want to fight about it? Give us a little bit of extra money. That's exactly what I need right now. Alright, Mom, I'm very sorry. Oh, I straight up thought you were dead in one hit. We're not guppy yet, though, so we didn't come in with the fly army. Maybe that was my mistake there. Okay. That was the greatest long-range Bob's brain shot of my whole career. There's no doubt in my mind. Oh, we have Gnawed Leaf? Yeah, we straight up have Gnawed Leaf as well. That doesn't really benefit us all that much, but I guess it means while we're waiting for Epic Fetus to go off, we can, you know, go make a cup of coffee or something like that if we're interested in doing so. I'm very happy that Daddy Longlegs died in one hit there. And this is a dead end, or at least I hope it's not. I hoped it was, because it was going to take us 20 years to check. Oh, please be the Emperor. Strength. I'll take it just so we get a little bit of extra speed. I know that cost us a Spirit Heart, but, you know, you got to enjoy your little victories. At first I was like, well, we have Taurus. But I don't think we have Taurus. I think we have just the world's slowest run. I think we just have bad speed. Oh, please, God. Nick Cave and the bad speeds. Hook me the fudge up with... Oh, this is good. Hook me the fudge up with some guppy right here. Alright. Pretty close. Extra Spirit Heart. I didn't even see you amongst the rabble there. One way or another, but probably the slow way. I'm gonna get you one way, or maybe next eon. I'll get you. I'm gonna get you. Where are you going? Bow now, bow now. That's it's like to throw in some Blondie references whenever I get the chance. Playing bass in Blondie, that was some of the best years of my career. I had a really good time. How's Chrissy Hines? Oh, she's good. Yeah, she was a great front woman. Is this a speed up? Oh my God, it is. Is this what it's like to be Kenny G? What do we got going on with like Aquarius here? We got Turdy Touch as well. I didn't notice that. That's actually No, thank you. It's actually kind of nice to have Turdy Touch with Holy Mantle. I mean, it's a relatively minor chain of events, but again, I'll take what I can get here. Don't jump. Don't ever jump. Well, I've been through the church on an Isaac with no speed. It felt good at the start of the seed. But in the deeps, I re-rolled my whole run. It was stupid, but I thought it would make it more fun. Ba, 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 ba. Never understood that lyric, you know. I mean, this is like an old hat comedian joke at this point, but been through the desert on a horse with no name. Sure, dog. I don't care. I mean, you should. I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm gonna take Book of Belial just for the extra damage because it could be funny. But I mean, I feel like you should name your pets. You know, it humanizes them a little bit. I think it's a weirdly sentimental and artificial thing, but it gives them a little bit more of a connection to you, you know, in a way, and you know, gives them a way to call them. But if you've basically, here's what that song says to me: you've been through the desert on a horse with no name. At some point, you're probably gonna kill and eat that horse because you didn't even bother to name it. You know, forgive me, but it sounds like you don't have the horse's best interest in mind. You know, you consider it like a thing as opposed to a friend or a companion or a confidant or you know, just a saddled associate. And I just think it says more about you than it does about the horse. Its lack of name. It's not like the horse had any control over that, did it? Nay. Yeah, okay. It's all good. Fever's starting to set in here as you know, day 9 of viral infection happens. I think we have fucking Spoonbender, or is that Charm Shots happening there? This is gonna hurt. Yep. Oh, Gnawed Leaf in the clutch. My favorite. Couldn't save me that time, but luckily I could. You know, we're moving pretty quickly here. I think we may actually have Taurus. We fucking do. Oh, now that we have a 1 speed upgrade, we can actually proc Taurus. All we need to do is spend like 15 minutes on a rune first. Okay. No. No. Oh my god. An assortment of items of complete worthlessness when you already have Epic Fetus, but Ipecac may or may not give us a damage bonus as a result. So I guess I'm not gonna shit on it completely. Look at, even Isaac is like, oh, get me the fuck out of here. I'm too old for this shit. I'm with you, dog. This is getting a little absurd, if I do say so myself. Luckily, we are one-shotting enemies. I mean, we're not gonna lose. It's just, it's not even feasible. We have objectively probably some of the most damage we've ever had, plus Holy Mantle, which is just silly at this point, but weirdly, this run still feels like it's a bit shitty. How strange. Well, we didn't quite actually one-shot the super rats there. It's alright, I guess it happens. We got those guys pretty quickly. I picked up Mr. Mega. I don't know if it can actually like help you, but I picked up Mr. Mega nonetheless. Why not, is my philosophy. I come from the Hillary Duff school of thought. Why not take a crazy chance? Why not do a crazy dance? I never thought of it that way, Hillary. Thank you very much for your uplifting words of wisdom that are as applicable for a mid-2000s era 15-year-old girl as they are for a mid-2010s era 26-year-old married man. It's just uplifting, man. That kind of stuff crosses all the gaps. Gender gap, wage gap, Marianas Trench, age gap, the gap, even the baby gap, dat gap. It crosses it all. All the gaps from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I'm running out of gaps, you guys. Are there any gaps remaining that I've forgotten? He's a comedian. His name is Glenn Foster. He's a Canadian comedian. He said, yeah, the gap, good name. There's a gap between what your shit's worth and what I'm willing to pay for it. And I was like, that's funny. I got older and I was like, you know what? The Gap's kind of reasonably priced for a Western clothing chain, you know. I mean, it's no winners, you know. But oh, finally. But at the same time, you know, you're not paying Zara prices or anything like that. Glenn Foster, I'm starting to think that you let that joke slip just because it works on wordplay, even though the merits of it on a literal sense are not necessarily there. Actually, I saw Glenn Foster at a stand-up comedy show. I was like 10. And I never thought about it until I was older, but he kind of styled himself as like a little bit of a Canadian edgy comedian, just to some extent. He was like an angry, like, pudgy white kind of guy. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm a pudgy white kind of guy. Why even bother using this stuff? But anyway, I gotta feel like that's, you know, people always talk about, man, if I was a comedian, it would suck to get heckled. But wouldn't it really, like, speak a lot more about you if you tried to do, like, an edgy show and then you saw, like, an 11-year-old kid in the audience, their parents took them to your show, and he was laughing his ass off? You'd be like, man, I never styled myself as a comedian for 11-year-olds. But that's how I ended up here as well. So, hey, thanks for watching. It was a good run, sort of. If you ignore the fact that I murdered myself halfway through it, if you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.